What if your greatest strength was also your greatest burden? What if the very traits that make you compassionate, insightful, and deeply human could also isolate you, exhaust you, and leave you feeling like a stranger in your own skin? This isn't a hypothetical question. For the INFJ, the rarest personality type in the world, this is daily life. They're the counselors, the idealists, the quiet warriors who feel everything, often at a devastating cost. Today, we're peeling back the layers of what it truly means to be an INFJ. Buckle up. It's not all rainbows and deep conversations. 1. The INFJ paradox. Empathy that cuts both ways. INFJs don't just feel empathy, they drown in it. Imagine walking into a room and instantly sensing the unspoken tension between coworkers, the hidden grief in a friend's smile, or the quiet desperation of a stranger's posture. For INFJs, this isn't a superpower. It's a relentless flood of emotional data. Their brains are wired to absorb moods like sponges, leaving them exhausted before the day even begins. The cost: chronic emotional fatigue. While others shrug off negativity, INFJs carry it home, replaying conversations and worrying about people they barely know. 2. The curse of idealism. When reality can't keep up, INFJs don't just want a better world. They expect it. They're haunted by visions of how things should be. Relationships without pettiness, workplaces without politics, societies without injustice. But reality? It's messy, unfair, and painfully slow to change. The gap between their ideals and the real world can crush their spirit. Ever met an INFJ who's quit a job, ended a friendship, or vanished from social media without explanation? Chances are they hit a breaking point where compromise felt like betrayal. 3. The loneliness of depth. Why can't anyone keep up? Small talk? INFJs would rather chew glass. They crave conversations about existentialism, trauma healing, and the hidden meanings of dreams. But here's the kicker. Most people aren't wired to go that deep that fast. INFJs often walk away from interactions feeling lonelier than before. It's like being a gourmet chef at a fast food joint. No matter how hard you try, you're never truly fed. Over time, they might stop reaching out, retreating into books, art, or solitary walks, anything to avoid the ache of superficiality. 4. The burnout loop. Giving until there's nothing left. INFJs are the unofficial therapists of their social circles. Friends vent to them. Colleagues confide in them. Strangers overshare with them. And because INFJs hate seeing pain, they'll pour hours into calming, advising, and rescuing others. But here's the problem. Nobody teaches them how to refill their own cup. They'll cancel their own plans to soothe someone else's crisis, then lie awake wondering, who's there for me? The result? A silent epidemic of INFJ burnout. Exhaustion wrapped in guilt, because how dare I complain when others have it worse? 5. The trap of perfectionism. If I'm not flawless, I'm worthless. INFJs don't just aim for excellence. They demand moral, intellectual, and emotional perfection from themselves. Miss a deadline? They'll label themselves failures. Lose their temper once? They'll agonize for weeks about being toxic. This isn't humility, it's self-flagellation. Society praises their high standards, but nobody sees the internal courtroom where INFJs are both judge and defendant, forever on trial for crimes like not saving the world today. 6. The identity crisis. Who am I when I'm alone? INFJs are masters of mirroring. At work, they're diplomatic. At parties, they're charming. With loved ones, they're endlessly accommodating. But ask an INFJ, what do you want? And you might hear crickets. Years of prioritizing others' needs can erase their sense of self. They'll spend hours crafting the perfect gift for a friend, but freeze when picking a Netflix show for themselves. Rediscovering their own desires isn't just hard, it's terrifying. What if my true self isn't lovable? 7. The social exhaustion. Why INFJs ghost everyone. INFJs aren't flaky, they're overstimulated. A single dinner party can feel like running a marathon blindfolded. They're analyzing tones, managing moods, and suppressing their own opinions to keep peace. Afterward, they'll need days to recover, often canceling plans or ignoring texts. Friends call them distant, but the truth? INFJs are like smartphones with a 10% battery. Every interaction drains them, and charging takes time. 8. The fear of vulnerability. If you really knew me, INFJs are walking contradictions. They'll write soul-bearing poetry, but panic if someone reads it. They'll listen to others' secrets for hours, but share nothing about themselves. Why? Vulnerability feels like handing someone a live grenade. What if they mock my dreams? What if my darkness scares them? So they build walls, revealing just enough to seem open while hiding their rawest truths. The cost? A life of near misses with genuine connection. 9. The decision fatigue. Overthinking every choice. Choosing a coffee order shouldn't be stressful, right? Tell that to an INFJ. Their brains dissect every decision. Is this ethically sourced? Does the barista seem upset? What if I regret this flavor? From career moves to weekend plans, every choice is weighed against 1,000 hypothetical outcomes. It's exhausting, and it often leads to paralysis. Ever seen an INFJ stuck in a loop of, but what if? That's their brain on overdrive. 10. The shadow side. When the light goes out, every INFJ has a breaking point. When the weight of empathy, idealism, and self-sacrifice becomes too much, their shadow emerges. Suddenly, the pacifist becomes confrontational. The optimist becomes cynical. They might cut off loved ones, sabotage relationships, or spiral into nihilism. It's not cruelty, it's a survival mechanism. Like a cornered animal, the INFJ lashes out when they feel their humanity is being exploited. 11. The silent grief. Mourning the life they should have. INFJs rarely admit this, but many grieve the simplicity others seem to enjoy. They watch friends settle into careers, marriages, and routines with ease. While they're stuck asking, is this all there is? They mourn the relationships they've outgrown, the dreams they've deferred, and the innocence they've lost to their own depth. It's a quiet, private sorrow, one that's hard to explain without sounding ungrateful or melodramatic. 12. The hope that won't die. Why INFJs keep going? Here's the twist. Despite the pain, INFJs never fully surrender. They'll crawl through 100 heartbreaks if it means one moment of genuine connection. They'll champion lost causes, fight for broken people, and believe in love long after logic says to quit. Why? Because deep down, they still think the world can be better. And maybe, just maybe, they're right. Conclusion. Being an INFJ isn't a personality. It's a lifelong tightrope walk between profound love for humanity and crushing disillusionment with its flaws. They pay a steep price for their depth, exhaustion, loneliness, and the quiet ache of feeling too much in a world that prefers surface-level living. But here's the truth we often miss. INFJs aren't fragile. They're forged in fire. Every time they choose compassion over cynicism, hope over despair, they prove that even the heaviest costs can lead to something extraordinary. So, to every INFJ watching, your sensitivity isn't a weakness. It's a rebellion, and the world needs rebels like you.